Hey y'all, so this is the sequel to my first video that I did, which was embroidering for beginners. I will put that link in the description. I will also put it at the end of this video, and here it is right here. In this video, I outline the things you need to get started on embroidering, a few tips and tricks, and overall just how to get started and embroider something. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 7 stitches you can use in embroidering just to switch it up. These stitches are pretty popular. These are some of my favorite stitches. There are so many more out there, but I'm just going to be showing you 7 stitches that I like to use. So here we go. I have them written out by their name here just so that you can see pretty easily. So we're going to start with the back stitch. For the back stitch, you're going to come up through the back and you're going to want to keep your stitch lengths as even here as you can. So come up through the back, go down. Now you're going to want to come up this same length that you just did. You're going to want to come up back on this line, that same length away from it. Come up, and this is where it gets its name from. You're going to go back and connect them. So once again, up that same length, back, and you're going to repeat this for the length of whatever it is that you are using this stitch on. Now, if you want to get real particular about having your stitches be the same length, you can always measure them out and mark them. So there you have it, your back stitch. Next, we have our stem stitch. So start from the back, come up. For this stitch, you're going to want to go in and you're going to loop. You're going to loop up very, very close to this stitch, to this first stitch where it came through the front. And for this stitch, you're never going to be pulling it from the back to the front except for the start. So then you just connect it. You're going to want to pull it back this same length and come up very close. This one can be a bit tricky if your fabric is very sturdy and it is very tightly on your embroidery hoop. So you're just going to continue this for the length of whatever it is that you are stitching. So there you have it, your stem stitch. But next we have our satin stitch. For this satin stitch, you come up and you're going to go in straight down from that and come up right next to that stitch. And you simply repeat this pattern, keeping your stitches as close together as you can, and making sure you stay on these 2 lines to keep it parallel. And you're just going to repeat this. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to finish this off, but you can see it is starting to fill in, and this is going to give you a bit of a raised look. So next we have our chain stitch. For this, you come up and you're going to push it back down right where you just came up, come up a little bit ways away, and you're going to wrap this thread around the needle, push it through, and you have your first chain. So you want to keep your thread on this side, and you're going to go down, up, wrap it around, pull it through. Go down at the end of that chain, come up, wrap it around, just repeat this until you have filled the space that you are trying to fill. So there you have it, your chain stitch. So the next stitch that we have is our woven stitch. You're gonna come up on each end of these little rays coming out, coming down in the middle. Now the next thing after you have filled in your rays, you're gonna come up close to the middle. And where the word woven comes from is that you are gonna weave in between these little rays. Over, under, over, under. So over, under, over, under, over, under. And you're just gonna repeat this until your little wagon wheel is filled in. And this one is so cute for little flowers or whatever. And you don't really wanna pull too tight on this. There you have it, your woven wagon wheel. So next we have our lazy daisy. This is essentially a chain stitch, but instead of being in a continuous line, you are making the petals of a flower. Come up through the back, down through the middle, back up at the edge of the petal, wrap around your needle, pull it through, and once you pull it through, you just tack down the end of the petal. And you repeat this for all of your petals. As you can see, I did not draw the most symmetrical flower, but you get the point. Now, the last stitch that I'm gonna show y'all is called a French knot. This is my favorite stitch to fill spaces because it has a lot of personality, it's 3D. Honestly, it's my favorite one, it's so cool. So you come up, you hold your thread, take your needle, and wrap your thread around your needle 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then you go right back, right next to where you came up. You're gonna go down, and you wanna make sure that you hold this side tight. Not too tight, but don't let it get away from you. And you pull it through. It's a beautiful little knot. I'm just gonna repeat this. 1, 2, 3. Hold this side, go down right next to where you came up, and pull it through. And there you have it.